What is up, Texas hockey fans? Welcome to Happy Hour Stars versus Jets, December 9th. We are on the road. We are in Manitoba, Canada, Winnipeg. The boys are buzzing. The boys are in town, actually. Pretty much everyone is back in town. They're lifted off the LTIR. We've got people off of IR. We're only really missing one defenseman at this point. It is a wonderful time to be a Stars fan. I'm your host, Stone Strength, joined by everybody on the podcast today, Savannah Humoller and Dom Garcia. How are we doing, happy Stars fans?
We're great. We're here to have a good time.
Absolutely.
It's a great time. Everybody's got drinks. Hit up the chat if you haven't already. We're live on YouTube. We're live also on my Twitter. I just got access on TikTok to go live on there. And then I tried to link this account to it. And they're like, yeah, no, you're not eligible to go live. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know how to fix that. I've tried. I'm playing again. We'll fix TikTok. We'll get in there eventually. Matt Townsend, first comment. As always, Matt Townsend, welcome back to the happy hour, back in the live stream. Good news, Harley is in, who is out. First chat of the day. It's Vladislav Kolyachonok. We love him dearly. He's out. So he's been great, but Thomas Harley makes a lot of money, so you kind of have to put him in there.
Thomas Harley coming back to the lineup could not be better timing. I feel like we have missed him very much so. The defensemen have been holding it down pretty well for the most part, given the fact that they've had the injuries that they have with Nils Lundqvist being out, Thomas Harley, now Liam Bichsel. But this could not be a better time to have Thomas Harley back in the lineup. It's probably a little bit of a relief for Esa Lindell and Miro Heiskanen, who have been playing a lot of minutes on the ice.
So many minutes.
Yeah, and just completely different pairings too. I mean, some of these guys were like AHLers, just not even thought of to be, and to play the way they has been awesome. But no, you get Thomas Harley back. It's couldn't be a better time. Absolutely. With the role we're on right now, you get a chance to ease him in. He doesn't have to be the guy on the power play. He can just like Duchesne, just very comfortably get back into the lineup right before the new year.
Yeah, and I got a TikTok comment today about Harley coming back, and they're like, go ahead and throw him on PP1. I'm like, well, no, not yet. It's not time to throw him on PP1 yet. Miro's actually been really good on PP1. That is the second best power play in the league, maybe the first, depending on the night with Pittsburgh. Yeah, we're not putting him on PP1. PP2, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you let him ease into it this week. You get through the Florida game. Maybe Monday we see him on PP2. We don't even see the PP2. What are we even talking about? There is no PP2. It's Miro, Miko, Robo. It's just the boys. Wyatt, Rope. They're all out there, and that's just what it is, guys. You're gonna have to deal with PP1 for 2 minutes. It is what it is.
They'll ease Thomas Harley back in slowly but surely. They're also probably doing the same thing, Nils Lundqvist as well, easing the injuries back in. That also includes Matt Duchesne, while that's also a topic of conversation. But you have to ease these guys back into it, but they're going to get after it. I mean, you have 2 division games too this week on the road, so those are pretty important games for the Stars, but they're there to do their job at the end of the day. Thomas Harley is the one guy that says, oh, I'm just doing my job. This is what I do for work. So he's just going to work tonight. So he'll get in there. He'll get the job done.
The old, we're just stupid, so they have to coach us thing. So I love that quote. He's just eating DiGiorno pizza. Leave Thomas Harley alone. Claire in the chat says the Christmas lights are fire. Thank you, Claire. I spent far too long editing these Christmas lights into the graphic because every time I would do the AI thing where it just removes the background, so many just differences in the lights. It took forever, but I appreciate it. I thank you, Claire. I spent way too much time on that. We'll be here for all of the month of December. And shout out to Keaton Stevens. Go Stars. Yeah, go Stars. I got my new jersey on, guys. Got the blackout. Got the 99. New blackout. Not a big deal.
It's so cool. It's such a good jersey.
It's so good. And, it's Matt Duchesne. I wasn't going to get a Matt Duchesne jersey. And then that was the one that was in there. And I said, you know what? That'll do. That'll do just fine. Love Dutchie. Dutchie's one of my favorite. Tori's in the chat. Hello, everyone. I'm here. Yes. Hi, Tori. Thank you. Thank you for getting in the chat. Friends are just showing up. This is great. All right. It's Stars versus Winnipeg. No Hellebuck. No Otter. Team USA goaltenders are nowhere to be found tonight. What are we thinking about this game, guys?
Dom, you go. You have at it. Yeah.
Well, me and Stone have been on this. Casey DeSmith has been like the all-star of this entire season. I think he's second right now or third maybe in save percentage between all NHL goalies, which is unreal. I love giving him the shine because for some reason he's going to give up a goal early and then he'll just lock in like he's prime Patrick Waugh. I mean, just it's unreal. Otter has looked great as we all know, but really with this Winnipeg game, I just want to see more just stomping on the toes of Winnipeg. I love how this year we've been able to really drum some teams in previous years. Well, I don't like playing from behind as much as we have recently, but even though it's so weird, like watching a Stars game, my brother texted me, goes, yeah, I'm not even worried down 1 goal, down 2 goals, just 'cause there's too much talent to come back from. But this year, I'd love to see the keep a 2 goal lead at a 2 goal lead, keep a 3 goal lead, turn into a 4 goal lead. And this is definitely a game where we can do that. And if you can show you can do that, we've already seen what we can do playing behind. So
He ain't got no internet.
over the past season, it would be nice 5-2 game.
Whoa. 5-1, 5-2 would be crazy.
5-1, 5-2, but you know what? It could be doable. I mean, I did a whole breakdown of kind of what we're looking at when it comes to the Jets. They're 3-6-1 in their last 10 games. Stars are 8-0-2. So we're looking a little better than the sixth place in the Central right now, the Winnipeg Jets. And it's just surprising how they have come from being the President's Trophy winners last year and coming down to this level at this point, because I thought that they had a great offseason with their signings and how they were kind of building their team up. But obviously anything can kind of happen when it comes to the NHL here. But the power play, Stars are way better on the power play right now. They're at a 31.6%. Jets are 21.3%. And then the penalty kill, that's pretty evenly matched up as far as how the Stars are and the Jets are. So I would pay attention to more of the power plays for the Stars because they have a lot better execution right now than the Jets do.
Savannah, I don't know if you noticed this last year with Pete DeBoer, but now also with goalie. I saw it the other day at practice when he talked to us on Monday. They say specialty teams. Is that a Canadian thing? Because we call it special teams, the power play and the penalty kill. They both called it specialty teams. I noticed it last year with DeBoer the whole time. And now goalie, I've started to catch on. It's specialty teams every time he mentions it. Is that just a Canadian thing? Am I missing something?
I'm really glad that you pointed that out to me because I will
It's gonna
stand
mess with
by
you the entire time.
for when he says that next time. But I always thought special teams, as you did,
Right.
as anyone would.
It's a
But
football
maybe it
term.
is Canadian. I'm gonna do some research on this. Come back to me.
Okay. Yeah. No. It just I had been thinking it pretty much all season. I was like, I'm pretty sure DeBoer said the same exact thing last year all year, but his voice didn't click with me last year for whatever reason. DeBoer's, but goalie's voice it's the way he says it. It's not very fast. It's specialty teams. It's 2 words, whereas DeBoer I think it was pretty fast with specialty teams. Like it just kind of fell
Rolled
out.
off the tongue.
Yeah. Matt in the chat says he got a Rope 99 jersey. Congrats. Great jersey. And he'll take a DeSmith road game. Yeah. Casey's been great this year. He was awesome last year. He's phenomenal, top 5 in save percentage and all that kind of stuff. He obviously doesn't qualify for a lot of those things because he doesn't play enough games. But Casey's a dog. I love Casey. He always likes messing around with the guys in the locker room too, after morning skate or practice or whatever. They always do the shootouts where they go up against the backup goaltender, and it's like 5 or 6 shootout attempts, and sometimes Casey will save 5 or 6 of them, and he's just fired up, and they're all just yelling at Casey when he comes in the locker room, and he's just like, look, man, you just got to score. You just got to score on me. You can't score on me. And I feel like that's how Casey acts in the game too. He just keeps saving everything. It's awesome.
We like a little attitude from Casey DeSmith. I'll take it.
He's a dog. It's Winnipeg. I always hate going to Winnipeg, and that's maybe just the last 3 years of experience as being a Stars fan in Winnipeg. It just feels like they always lose. I know they won the first game of the season in Winnipeg, but that was like, it was really fun, and then it was really scary for 15 minutes at the end.
I know they almost had to come
5-1,
back.
5-2,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was 5-4, I think, at the end, or 5-3. I think it was 5-4. Kyle Connor had, 2 breakaway goals. One was a shorty. Like, it was just terrifying. So don't do the thing you did the other night and have 25 giveaways.
Oh my gosh.
Just don't do that.
Dom, tell us your thoughts.
He's so
that was
upset.
a big sigh.
He was so upset the other day when we recorded. He was like, we won the game, but so many giveaways.
It's like they know they can get away with it at times because they're so good, and it just needs one moment of really good passing from that top line or that second line. And all night I was like, oh my gosh, these turnovers, like, God, they wouldn't fly against like a really, really good team. And like, they're on a roll. And when your team's winning this much, sometimes you got to find some things to bitch about. And what was it, like 12 turnovers in one period was something that was driving me crazy. And it drove me even more crazy because I knew, all right, we're going to get like a power play and all of this will be forgotten. And it wouldn't happen on a power play, but Mikko Rantanen is Mikko Rantanen, and all was well.
And even he was giving up the puck here and there. I was just like, this kind of sucks. It was just like it wasn't lackadaisical, but he just would miss the extra part of the deke where he's just dusting off the puck. He would miss it on one end and it would just go 3 feet away from him. And he's like, oh shit, puck's away from me. And then it was a turnover. And I was like, you know what? One of these days, the Stars are going to lose a game in regulation. Maybe, I don't know. I could be lying out of my teeth. Like, they might just not lose another game in regulation. It's crazy.
Well, you just never know what's going to happen. Every day is different. And this has just found ways to win in like the craziest scenarios, I feel like. Mm-hmm. And just when you think they're down and it's just not going to happen, they just keep on winning, which is great. So great for all the Stars fans. But I don't know, Mikko, I'm kind of like feeling the vibe for him against the Jets tonight. He has 31 points in 32 career games against the Jets. He's pretty good against the Jets.
Is that good?
I would say it's pretty good.
Pretty decent.
Pretty decent. Yeah, he's just a dog at the end of the day. He just scores points against everyone. So they have that graphic for every game that they play. Have y'all seen that on Victory Plus if they're on the road?
Yeah.
Like every game, it's like, oh, Mikko Rantanen has this many goals and this many points against this team. I'm like, oh, that's a significant number, obviously, because you wouldn't make that graphic if not. Then you look around, you're like, yeah, it's a pretty good number against one team. He's the best. I love him dearly. In the chat, DeSmith has been great replacement for Wedgwood. I would argue that he's been a better replacement than Wedgwood. Like, Wedgwood was awesome when he was with the Stars, but I feel like he was in the top 10 of every category. Casey feels like he's in the top 5 of every category and maybe plays a little bit more than what Wedgwood did because Otter was a little bit younger. They weren't keeping him as rested, maybe. I think this year we're going to see the most rested Otter that we've seen in his career, maybe. Like, he's going to play the least amount of games, I would assume, with the Olympic break, obviously.
Well, I feel like Jake Ottinger and DeSmith being able to like split things up just a little bit. Like, you have Casey DeSmith who you can rely on. Like, you know that you can get some wins from him. And he's just been phenomenal. And I think was it the Stars? They put out this really cool graphic. Was it yesterday or today? And it was like the 2-headed monster of the Stars. Yeah. And it's Jake Ottinger and Casey DeSmith. And I was like, they're just holding down a lot of really good things right now when it comes to goaltending in the NHL. They're leading a lot of different areas. Jake Ottinger getting the second star of the week for the NHL. He's on a 6-game win streak. I mean, what more can you ask for with 2 really good goaltenders right now?
Yeah, and it feels like there's like last year with Pete, game to game, there's way less pressure just defensively, the goaltending and blue line. Everyone's really loose, and I think both, particularly Jake and Casey, have benefited from it. I remember Savannah's like debut with Clean Sheet of Ice. She was like, I would love to see a really good mix from goalie on the goalies, and that's exactly what we've seen. And it's worked well. He's had the touch on the vibe in that locker room, and they just play such a smooth, calm defensive game.
Yeah. At practice yesterday, Monday, goalie talked about how they look at trends with metrics and sabermetrics and all the different numbers that they look at. they look at it in 12 game sample sizes. So he said the first 12 games, they were not great defensively, but they were still winning games decently. They were all right. I know they had that like 4 or 5 game skid in that first 12 games. And then after that, the next 12 games, he's like, we were significantly better offensively, but it's because our defense was actually better. When our defense played better, our offense got better. If our defense was worse, our offense played worse. He said, if we can just play not necessarily a perfect game on defense, but a very, very, very good defensive game, our offense actually gets an uptick where they score more goals, they get more power plays, they do all of these things because they're not allowing anything. So I would wonder if it's like capitalizing on the rush. If a team is pressing because they're down in a game or they're only down 1 goal or 2 goals or whatever it is because the Stars got up early, played a great defensive game, and then they're capitalizing on the rush and the mistakes. I don't know if that's what it is. I have no idea what their numbers are, but I thought that was interesting that the better their defense plays, the better their offense is.
That is an interesting point. And to Keaton in the chat with how Casey's been playing, I think one of the points that I made really early on was last year during the postseason, every single NHL team in the postseason used 2 goaltenders besides the Stars. They only used Jake Ottinger. And when you have somebody like Casey DeSmith that can maybe fill a little bit of void or gap so somebody can avoid more of the burnout factor, that's where the Stars can really use Casey DeSmith. And they're probably shuffling through these switches so much this season right now to really test what Casey DeSmith can do while having Jake Ottinger as the number 1 and giving him the rest that he needs to.
Matt also said DeSmith could make a USA number 3 goalie argument. If you look at the numbers, possible USA goalies. I don't hate it. I just think they look for a certain type of goalie, a certain archetype and certain size as well. Casey's smaller. He's a different type of goalie. He looks squirmish, but he's not. He's always in control, but he looks squirmish and he's just smaller. So I don't know if Casey would get a nod. He would have to be added to the like 80-man roster right now and then pass all the drug tests for the next 3 weeks because they're deciding on December 31st who's on the roster. So would not think that Casey's going to make an argument there, but be fun. Be fun to have both of them there. Just be like, hey, Helly and Otter and Casey, ready to go. See what happens.
It'd be fun.
Yeah, no, I like where his head, like just purely off of Casey's play. Like I see where his head's at, and yeah, absolutely. I mean, the dude, you'd be hard pressed to find a playoff team specifically in the NHL with 2 goalies as good at playing as at the level that our 2 guys are playing at.
Yeah, you don't think Pickard and Skinner are that good together?
Brother, they're talking about trading for Bennington.
Yeah, they're shopping the market right now.
Oh, I know. They were talking about Jari, which if they can get Jari, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, he's like what 9-1-2 now, 9-1-3 maybe. It's been a really good year.
Like the fact that they want Bennington, like they want him. They think he would do great. Like okay,
a mental head case in Edmonton. That sounds.
Be my guest.
No, don't be my guest. That guy just stonewalls the Stars every time they play. I don't want Bennington in Edmonton. Not a chance. But more comments. Ardell, what's up, buddy? Dutchie is back. Let's fucking go. Yeah, I love Dutchie. I can't wait to see him. I don't know what the lines are looking like. Obviously, whoever tweets out the lines, whether it's Robert or Mike or whoever, that's watching the game intently beforehand, or Mike's in person, obviously. I don't know what the lines are looking like, but I would love to have Dutchie move up a line onto the 3rd line because he played 16 minutes the other game. Like if we ease him in and he's getting 17 minutes tonight, like it's pretty much what he's going to play in the regular season regardless, 17, 18 minutes. So we'll have to see what Dutchie gets.
When it comes to Matt Duchene, they're probably going to take things still pretty slow for the most part. I didn't get to watch the game on Sunday against the Penguins, but him just being back in the locker room is overall, like that's a huge win for the Stars. He's considered one of those leaders in the room. They're probably going to take it semi-slow. Obviously, it's great to have him back in the lineup, given the fact Tyler Seguin just got the injury that he did. Like you needed Matt Duchene back in there. I think it's going to take a few weeks to get him back to like a normal pace, but I think it's going to be like a slowly but surely a big progression when it comes to Matt Duchene. So we're excited to have him back.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. Like really tonight specifically, I would love to see him on the power play. I love how he gets people open in that same Dutchy little spot right by the point. But yeah, no, I don't expect much tonight. Just if we can get him on the power play and get him more comfortable, love to see it.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Ardell also asked, do we anticipate any growing pains integrating healthy players back into the lineup? I think we saw a little bit of that in the first game with Dutchy. He's obviously on the fourth line and playing left wing, which he does not do. And he also is more favorable towards the right wing because he likes to enter the ice on the right side of the ice in the offensive zone. So it's going to be a little wonky, but those guys are going to be rusty when they come back. Like Harley's not going to be 100% tonight when he comes back. He hasn't played in a month, 12 games, whatever. Dutchy, same thing we saw the other night. He's coming in and they're just going to be a little rusty. So I expect rustiness. I don't anticipate growing pains. I think after 2-3 games, like Jamie Benn, same thing. We saw him in the first game. We're like, okay, that's fine, whatever. And then the second game he came back and he's like, oh, Jamie Benn looks like he's 31 again and he's not 36. So I think we're okay on the growing pains.
Yeah, and just as you said, I mean, Jamie Benn, when he got back in, he was on that fourth line, and then they put him up to the top line with Mikko Rantanen and Wyatt Johnston. So it just took a little bit of progression, and there's going to be growing pains no matter what when players are coming back in injured. But so far, the Stars, they're getting the guys back when they need the guys back. So this is a good time to be getting a lot of these players back into the lineup to kind of alleviate a little bit of work that all these guys have been putting in and stepping up with all of the injuries.
Yeah, and it's going to bode well that like while these guys were out, they've kind of had to play, Jenga with the lines, particularly that second and third line. So when you do get a full healthy stable, we know where everyone's at on the ice. That first line, man, Mikko legitimately has eyes in the back of his head. He makes some of the craziest passes to Wyatt. Like it's insane. But like everyone kind of buzzes well enough to where I wouldn't call it growing pains. I would just call it like those first 4 games, like when defensively we were just not prepared. 3-4 games later, everybody was on their P's and Q's. It's just give it a week, and then once we get the ramped up on time, they'll get more and more comfortable. But yeah, no, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah. Dutchy mentioned it's a huge win for all of us, aka the media, to have Dutchy back. Dude, it's the coolest to talk to. Always gives a great conversation. Yeah, if you didn't know, I grew up in Alabama, so country music's kind of just what you grow up with. So anytime there's a new album, I go and find Dutchy, and I'm just like, hey, Dutchy, what do we think about this album? And we'll talk there for 15, 20 minutes about the album and the country music. And if he knows the guy, because he's big in Nashville scene and recording and all that kind of stuff. So Dutchy's always been a pleasure to talk to. He's always been open to talking about pretty much anything. And we're going to talk about it on tomorrow's pod, but he talked to Sam Nessler. I was going in there. Sam went in first into the locker room yesterday at practice. So he got first dibs on it, but I eavesdropped on it. So go read DLLS's piece, Sam Nessler's piece about it first, or go listen to their pod. But I'll give my 2 cents on what I think and what I heard from Dutchy about the injury and everything on tomorrow's pod when it comes out at 10 a.m. on our YouTube. But yeah, Dutchy's the best. I love Dutchy.
No, he is the best. And then when it comes to Sam Steele from Swix over here.
Yeah, we'll call him Swix. Yeah.
We like it. I feel like Sam Steele has actually been great lately, and maybe he has missed a few golden opportunities, as you say, but I think that he's actually such a solid on this team. He has such a great ability to still play a physical game, but he's really good in the passing lanes, and he's able to make those shifts and get the puck out to guys that can score. I think he's a legitimate rock on this team, and I actually really like where they've put him on lines, and him being on that top line occasionally with Mikko and Wyatt. Like it's just worked out somehow for the Stars, and I think coaching sees a lot of that out of Sam Steele too.
Oh, dude, maybe a week ago there was just like, I think Stars fans all last year were used to just all-star level guys. Even on our fourth line, third line, we had just unbelievable goal scorers. This year's team is like a traditional team where our fourth line grinders are going to wear out opposing teams. So you're not going to see crazy dangles. But yeah, no, me and you both, Savannah, I've loved Sam on that first line. Mikko said it to somebody in the locker room. that he's really comfortable with him doing all the dirty work, and then he'll clean up the unbelievable goal scoring. I love Sam Steele. He's been great. And that first line, I've never hated any second of it.
Yeah. And I think it was Sam from DLS. He mentioned on their pod the other night after the San Jose game, I think, because I was listening on the way home from Houston from our Christmas party. He mentioned that you could see that Mikko was a little frustrated that Sam hadn't finished any of those golden opportunities in that game. And then he ends up getting the goal just a few minutes later. It feels a lot like the Robo stretch where he had 3 goals to begin the season and then all of a sudden he just doesn't score for 9+ games. And you're like, when is this guy going to score? And then he scored out of like 14 out of 15 games, 16 games now or something like that. Like, it's incredible how many times he scores. Sam Steele is not going to do the same thing. Once he scores one, he might score one a week or one every 2 weeks, but I don't think it'll be the same type of lid that feels like it's been on the goal this entire time. Tori said, shout out Dutchie's last call. Yeah, shout out to Tori. Those great hats. Tori, I need to pick up that hat this week so I can ship it out. Just hand up. Danny earned it through the comment section and entering that and subscribing and everything. Speaking of that, we're going to do something else here. I put it on my TikTok. We've got it. It's right here.
There we go.
So Mikko Rantanen bobblehead. It's right here. It's in my possession and has not been opened. Mikko Rantanen is on my shelf now, right there. You can see him. It's the Moose exiting. We've got an extra. We're going to give it out, but we have to have 250 subscribers on our YouTube now. So we're sitting, I think, at like 137 right before we started this. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your kids if they have a YouTube channel. I don't care who subscribes to us. We're pretty family friendly over here. Sometimes I'll drop the F-bombs. It just depends how passionate I'm going to get. If the Colorado Avalanche get in my mentions, I'm going to get a little passionate. It happens. I can't help it. But tell everyone to subscribe. Once we hit 250 subs, we'll give away that Mikko bobblehead. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do more giveaways. We got to hit benchmarks on the subscriber count, though. That's the whole thing. So once we hit 250, we'll do a bigger one at 500. Because once we hit 500, we can start doing super chats. We can do memberships. We can do all kinds of stuff on YouTube. So 500 is kind of a big number for us. So I'll make sure the giveaway is a lot bigger for that one. So tell everybody to subscribe. We'll give away that Mikko bobblehead as soon as we hit 250 subs.
Yeah, Matt, 138. Let's go.
Yeah, honestly,
he's got another one for us.
Let's go.
We are, man. We really appreciate the growth that this channel has been doing, and I think we'll get to 250 really fast. I don't know about you guys.
I hope so. Things are looking in the right direction based on the metrics. Every morning I wake up, I'm surprised at the amount of watch hours, the amount of views. So we always say thank you to everybody that tunes in. So again, thank you. This happy hour thing will be a regular thing. Hopefully at least once a week. If they're on the road, we should be able to do one of these happy hours. And then come playoff time, we'll probably do a happy hour for every road game. It'll be just chaos and no sleep for anyone during the playoffs, especially us in the content game. So that'll be tough. Third line of Quebec. It's been a nice blend of youthful skill and gritty effort. Yeah, I love the Quebec line. I think they're the 19th best metric line in the NHL right now, which is very funny in creating chances and offense and defense metrics and all kind of stuff because they don't score a lot, but they're fun to watch.
I haven't necessarily looked at the metrics, but I do know that Maverick Bourque right now, it's one of those things where he probably needs to step up a little bit more. I think that the Stars, and I've heard that multiple times from some coaches and just in that room, they expected a little bit more from him at this point. So I would just keep an eye on Bourque. Hopefully he's wanting to, and he knows that he needs to step up and get the gears going a little bit.
This would be a great game for a third or fourth line guy to just have an absolute hell of a cross ice pass and a beautiful goal. I can definitely see that happening. And yeah, I will be paying attention to Maverick tonight.
I like Maverick a lot. I like the way he plays. It's kind of the same thing with Sam Steele. He's he just doesn't finish at the end of the day. He does a lot of things really correctly. And then at the end of the day, he's kind of brought in to score goals. And same thing as Logan Stankoven last year. He was brought in to kind of score goals, and he wasn't. And they didn't want to trade him last year, but it was Mikko Rantanen. What are you going to do? You kind of just have to give up what you got to give up to get Mikko Rantanen. We've seen the success with that. So that's fine. Swix also in the chat said, with Bischel's injury, where do you think some of the team's physicality might be made up for the time being? Jamie Benn has already shown that he'll hit people whenever, wherever. So I think it's that. And I think everybody else is more physical, significantly more physical than they were last year. Robo's throwing hits. Miko's obviously doing whatever Miko wants to do with all the penalty minutes and the hits. Love that. Don't care. Even Maverick Bork, like Colin Blackwell, Oscar Backer all throwing these big hits. Sam Steele's throwing the hits. Like, there's enough physicality. So I don't think we're too worried about Bischel. Obviously, you want Bischel in there, and those big booming hits are great. But missing him, they're still going to be physical enough.
No, I'm with you. They've definitely been more physical as a team overall, whether it's your forwards or your defensemen, you're still getting that physicality there. And you know what? Sometimes if there's not those physical moments, it means that the Stars are controlling the puck a little bit more. And that's something that coaching says all the time, that it's about the puck control, not necessarily creating moments where you have to have those hits. Liam Bischel is really good at doing that, while the Stars are able to still showcase more on the attack. But, you know, it's a physical team overall. So much better this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, the hits numbers, we've always wanted them to be up, but as long as they're not getting pushed around, I'll take the low hit numbers and try to push out Miko. It's not going to end well for you. And yeah, no, I haven't seen a team really force their will or wear down Dallas with the physicality. So without Bischel, obviously it's not ideal, but I think this team's been handling it well in the games that he's missed, and I think it won't be an issue.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments going here, guys, but we're already over the 30-minute mark. I want you all to go check out DLLS. I know they do their pregame live stream 30 minutes before puck drop, so that's why we do it an hour before. We don't want to step on toes. We're all in the content game. We all want everybody to win. So go check out Sam, Owen, Luds, everybody over at DLLS. Go watch them. They're on right now, so go tune into them. We've had a great time. We've had a great time with chat. Chat was popping tonight. That was a lot of fun. Had a lot of prompts, a lot of things going on. So Harley just jumped in. Harley, we're leaving. Sorry, pal. We're getting out of here. Guys, do we have any last words before we get out of here, before we watch the Jets and the Stars?
No, just a couple of division games, and then they will face the Florida Panthers this Saturday. So a lot of big games this week coming up for the Stars, but I think that they should have a pretty good execution considering the Jets are 3-6-1 in their last 10. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to keep this vibe, not too high, not too low. Would love to see some Finns, maybe put a puck in a net here or there. And then really, I'm watching Borg. I'm watching Harley, and love to see Duchesne get on that power play and see what he can do. But, you know, let just the Stars be Stars.
Harley said, go Stars, baby. I'll be on time next time. Thanks, Harles. We'll be back at some point next week. I think, do they have a road game next week, Seth? I haven't looked. Do y'all know if we have a road game next week?
We play the Kings on Monday at home, and then later on in the week, we'll have a road game.
All right. So later on next week, we'll have another happy hour before that road game. Road games, happy hours. Home games, no happy hours, because me and Savannah are usually in the building. So that's kind of tough to do a happy hour from the building. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice. Me and Dom are going to record in the morning. It'll be up at 10 a.m. on our YouTube. It'll be up as soon as we can on audio platforms. Hit that subscribe button. We'll give away this Miko Rantanen bobblehead as soon as we hit 250 subscribers. So tell everybody, and enjoy your drinks, enjoy your coffee, enjoy your tea, whatever you're drinking tonight. Enjoy it with our happy hour. Stars versus Jets. Let's go Stars, and we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast. Thanks for joining, guys.